The Boko Haram insurgency in the northeastern Nigeria, many devastated communities moved into safe havens in the Republic of Cameroon. With peace gradually returning and normalcy restored in many areas, refugees from Borno have made case to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum to return home. This led to the initiation of the repatriation program through a tripartite agreement signed between Nigeria, Cameroon, and the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, held in Marwa in the far north Cameroon. Nigerian delegation that comprised Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, alongside officials of Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, as well as National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs, made effort towards the voluntary repatriation of 9,800 Nigerians of Borno origin. 46,000 Nigerians taking refuge in Minawawo camp in Cameroon. How is the repatriation exercise faring as the refugees return home in phases? What are the challenges in the way of their security and resettlement with continuing Boko Haram attacks and the counter-insurgency operations? This is our focus this afternoon on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri. I am Abubakar Mohammed Musa. In furtherance of its strategic engagement with stakeholders towards addressing critical national issues, President Muhammadu Buhari last Thursday engaged governors from the north-central and northwestern parts of the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that challenges of security dominated discussions.
At the crucial meeting were the Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello Muhammad Mutawalli of Zamfara State, Nasir Ahmed El Rufai of Kaduna State, and Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State. Also in attendance were the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal of Sokoto, and Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa. All of them share one thing in common. Their states are bedeviled by enormous challenges of security, especially banditry and kidnapping, which have been undermining their efforts at meeting genuine public aspirations. At this meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, held behind closed doors, the governors took turns to narrate their experiences, individual efforts at finding lasting solutions, as well as expectations from the federal government. The chairman, Northern Governors Forum, and Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, who spoke to newsmen on their behalf, described the meeting as fruitful and reassuring.
You recall that many of the states have common features of insecurity that we have within our states, and we felt that we must also meet Mr. President about it. It's about the insecurity.
So what are the takeaways?
The takeaway will say that the meeting with the President was very fruitful, and we are also very committed, and we have seen a lot of commitments, so we are waiting for the implementation. And Mr. President has given us that assurance.
The governor's engagement with President Muhammadu Buhari lasted 1.5 hours. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Concerning security, President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the killing of tens of people by bandits in Zamfara State, warning that such wanton disregard for life will be brought to an end sooner than later. In his reaction to the incident, the president said such insane and persistent violence against innocent people must stop, advising the criminal elements to resist the temptation of pushing their luck too far by believing that the government lacks the capacity to crush them. He directed the military, security, and intelligence agencies to take immediate steps to close all existing gaps in their operations being exploited by criminals to wreak havoc, and expressed the hope that the special operation launched by the military at 3 o'clock Thursday morning from Maru local government area will prove decisive in ridding the state of the frequent and horrifying bandit activities. President Buhari warned that the violence against poor villagers who are struggling with poverty and other severe economic challenges is not going to be tolerated by his administration. The president reassured the people of Zamfara State that despite the latest setback in efforts at protecting citizens, there will be no compromise in the renewed determination to defeat these enemies of humanity. And still on security, The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, says the casualties being continuously suffered in the battle to secure Nigeria, notwithstanding, the nation's armed forces will neither be deterred nor abdicate their responsibility of protecting lives and defending the territorial integrity of the country. The minister gave the assurance at the State House media briefing on national security organized by the Presidential Communications Team. State House correspondent Adam Musambu has more details.
Can confidently report that Boko Haram and its allies have been dealt and are still being dealt a major blow.
This, the minister explained, not just on the military front, but also curtailing what he called the illegitimate financing that allows the criminal elements to source weapons and fresh recruits. He said as a result of the various military operations across Nigeria, including Lafia Dole, Thunderstrike, Wild Stroke, and Safe Haven, several key terrorist commanders have been neutralized and desperate attacks on soft targets increasingly foiled. He described the recent killing of soldiers in Benue State as unfortunate and intolerable.
The military is not taking kindly on that. Let me just tell you this. Whoever touches the military has no regard for this country. We are on the hunt for the killers of these soldiers, and we will ensure that they face the full wrath of the law.
The minister said out of the 12 weapons carted away from the deceased soldiers, 9 have been recovered and some of the perpetrators are now being interrogated. The Nigerian Armed Forces, he also emphasized, is committed to executing President Muhammadu Buhari's shoot-aside order against those carrying AK-47 rifles illegally.
We are not going to mince word. Anybody picking arms against the nation or against members of the armed forces has no life to live. We will certainly get to him and shot at sight. This is a warning which we will send the message to all Nigerians.
He called for continued cooperation and collaboration with the military from the communities in the various theaters of operation.
The task of ensuring security is not for the security and law enforcement agencies alone. Nigerians are urged to defend the country and render such national service as may be required through assistance to appropriate and lawful agencies of government by sharing intelligence, information for the maintenance of law and order.
The minister lamented what he called the rise of self-help syndrome, often endorsed by states and some local elites, vigilant groups, as well as identity-based militia with different mandates and concerns, describing such as threatening to Nigeria's prospects for social cohesion and stability. He, however, said various strategic and tactical measures will soon be unfolded towards guaranteeing national security and sustainable development. From the State House, Adam Musambu, NTA News.
Security for now. Nigeria practically demonstrated the theme of the 10th anniversary of the global celebration of the International Day of Girls in ICT. Connected girls creating brighter future by taking an advocacy to the roots to convince the next generation of women to take up the challenge and be vanguards of change. Momso Damian Dati now reports.
Women the world over have been striving not only to occupy the spheres of power and decision-making, but also close the wide gap of gender inequality in ICT. And the 2021 International Day of Girls in ICT has offered these women the opportunity to further pursue these targets.
The death rates of motor accidents across the world is really disturbing me. So what inspired us with this robo traffic is to control the traffic to reduce the death rates. We girls are not left out in the battle to move the world forward.
And so, students of Government Girls Science Secondary School Dute will never be the same after this morale-boosting experience to encourage them aspire for the top and be steadfast in their choice of ICT courses in order to use technology and proffer solutions to real-life problems.
Yes, we can. Do you believe in yourself? Yes. I can see all, and with the last performance here, I know that Nigeria is here, and I know that the sky is just your starting point. I consider education the most important thing in your life, because with good education, you can stand on your own. All the problems that we are facing today in the society, gender-based violence, child abuse, all the rubbish, you can stem it down when we have educated mothers, educated women, especially in the sciences. ICT is what moves the world today.
Take number of the car, information of the car, send you directly to the office.
You can see we're already thinking ahead. 20 years to come, that means when we're navigating the traffic, the road, the vehicles there would actually have a sign that would tell us there's congestion, this is an offender, and then there would be corrections.
The girls are already going ahead in ICT to invent robots that can also, help in solving problems in the society.
Persistence is the word. They need to keep pressing on.
The International Day of Girls in ICT is a global movement to increase the representation of women and girls with equal access to opportunities. Hashtag Girls in ICT. Momso Damien Nati, NTA News.
105,000 Nigerian refugees of Borno extraction to Nigerian delegation led by Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. 100 households consisting of 342 persons among the Nigerian refugees at Minawawo camp arrived in the fourth exercise. Memuna Garba reports that the ceremony was held at Amchide, a border community in Cameroon.
At the instance of the Cameroonian President Paul Biya, the first batch of returnees were accompanied by the Minister for Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga Nji, and handed over the returnees to Governor Babagana Umara at Amchide town, attended by other officials, including Governor of Far North Region, Bakari Mijinyewa, prefects and mayors. The Cameroonian minister said President Paul Biya insisted that the return should be voluntary, even though the security situation in Nigeria has improved, and lauded Governor Zulum's reconstruction and resettlement efforts.
We have respected to the letter the instructions from President Paul Biya. The first one is that this voluntary departure is being organized during the era of the COVID-19. So President Paul Biya instructed that all those who are going must do the COVID screening.
The minister added that President Paul Biya has given a big relief package to the refugees, which include mattresses, blankets, food and non-food items to all the 5,000 returnees to strengthen the two countries' friendship. Governor Babagana Umara, on behalf of Nigeria, thanked the Cameroonian authorities for taking good care of the refugees in the last 6 years, and further restated commitment to rebuilding Banki town for socio-economic activities to pick up.
It gladdens my heart to see this huge donation coming from the government of Cameroon. The donation is reaching not less than about 30,000 Nigerians.
While in Banki town, Governor Zulum flagged off distribution of food and non-food items to the returnees' households, where male head of household received 30,000 naira, while each woman was given 10,000 naira and a fabric with a call on them to remain resilient, as government is committed to their security and welfare for return to normal life. Some returnees who spoke to newsmen expressed gratitude to the host country and Nigerian government for facilitating their return.
Alandin bultina alama kusa tulure ande soroka mornel gumna jiri shaidu ina kama ndia tulo mazo.
The repatriation of the refugees will be done in batches of 300 to 400 people in compliance with COVID-19 prevention protocol. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Nigerian refugees in the Republic have been staying in the host country since 2013. With their willingness to return home, set a chain of events, including the tripartite agreement for the actualization of the repatriation process. Camp Minawawo refugees, mostly from Borno State, are returning to Nigeria in batches, an exercise spearheaded by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, determined to rebuild communities in Borno in order to return to normal living. What stage is the exercise? How much more needs to be done to complete the movement, and where are the refugees camped or resettled? To throw more light on the repatriation of refugees to the country is Engineer Lawan Wakilbi, State Team Leader on Repatriation and Special Advisor to the Borno State Governor on Monitoring, Evaluation and Special Projects. It's a pleasure to have you join us on Panorama this afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. What is the general condition of the refugees, especially, those of Borno extraction, and how much is their enthusiasm to return home with the restoration of peace in many communities?
Thank you very much. First of all, the refugees are fine, and you could say those of them in Minawawa camp are almost all of Borno extraction, and they are highly enthusiastic because in September 2019, as part of his 100 days in office, when His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum visited the Minawawa refugee camp, the refugees had just one request: please take us home. From there, His Excellency gave my team the marching orders to commence the modality to see to the repatriation exercise. Then we started by identifying those that are voluntarily willing to return, and we highlighted Bama and Banki towns for the first phase of repatriation, and I'm happy to say we have successfully completed the exercise, and they are all happily based in their homes.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, sir, which relevant authorities are concerned with the repatriation process? Is there synergy, and what progress has been, been achieved in bringing back Nigerians from the Cameroons?
The tripartite agreement signed on the 2nd of March 2017 states that the parties involved are the government of Nigeria, government of Cameroon, UNHCR, Nigeria and Cameroon. These are the parties involved. Now, after our preparation, a second meeting, February 2021, was called at the instance of His Excellency President Paul Biya of Cameroon, and was chaired in the state of Marwas, far north Cameroon, by the minister, Bat Inaj. Now, in that, the tripartite agreement was reviewed, and various responsibilities were assigned to the various parties. For instance, Cameroon is in charge of security and movement of goods belonging to the refugees. Nigeria is in charge of transportation. The UNHCR Cameroon will handle the loading system and the data collection. UNHCR Nigeria will register the data upon arrival and give them some kits for them to commence the whole thing. So the synergy was excellent, and it was a hitch-free exercise from the beginning to the end. The entire exercise took about 7 weeks, and it was successfully carried out without any problems.
All right, that's interesting, I must say. Okay, sir, on their phased arrival, what comes next? Are the refugees being kept in camps or will be directly resettled as returnees to designated communities?
If you study the 10-pact agenda upon which Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, the executive governor of Borno State, campaigned, in the part that contains resettlement, it is the objective of this government to close all camps within and outside Maiduguri before the end of the tenure. So the issue of moving from one camp to another is not even acceptable. All the refugees we brought were taken directly into their homes. As part of the preparation stage from 2019 to date, more than 1,050 houses have been rehabilitated in Banki. That is where we safely house the refugees we brought. Then Bama, as you well know, has been a rehabilitated town for some times. Most of the refugees that came back to Bama went straight into their houses. So it is our objective and part of the state development plan that any person we bring, be it IDP or refugee, will not stay in any camp anymore, but will move into his house that he was before the insurgency started. So no refugee has been taken into any camp. They went into their various homes. They left before the commencement of the insurgency.
That's truly interesting. So we would also like to know, what are the challenges or risks involved in the exercise so far, and what will you suggest as way forward to make the repatriation story?
First of all, we thank God in all our 6 convoys, we have not had any security issues. Now, the major challenge we faced is as a result of COVID screening, where families had to be separated. Then the second challenge we noticed is livelihoods when these people come. Despite our numerous support as state and despite supports from international agencies, more needs to be done in the aspects of livelihood. Then the schooling system. Most of the children we came with came speaking French, singing Cameroonian national anthem. So if you look at our education system, it's not bilingual, so there is a lot of adjustments to be done to begin to teach them English and to teach them civic and Nigerian national values. Now, in addition, I would like to use this avenue to thank His Excellency President Paul Biya and his wife, Madam Her Excellency Chalta Biya. Most of these donations you see given to the refugees came out of their personal income. The President and his wife personally bought these things for all the 5,000 refugees, and they handed it over to us in the border. Not only that, His Excellency President Paul Biya has insisted that senior Cameroonian officials accompany these refugees right up to the Nigerian border. And this is what has been tenable in all the 6th convoy. So at this phase, we want to call on all well-meaning individuals, corporate organizations to also support our refugees.
Okay, so good luck to you on the aforementioned repatriation program and other activities of government.
Thank you very much.
That was the team leader and special advisor to Borno State Governor on monitoring, evaluation, and special projects. Let's take a break now. Panorama returns shortly.
We need to reach out to the people. We should convince them. We should use the systems that we have used before in getting our people vaccinated over the years.
Please, this is good for you and good for others and good for the health of all Nigerians.
I want to reassure our people that as your governor, I will not subscribe to anything that will harm you nor affect your well-being.
Which has helped other states, including states, to demonstrate capacity to rise to the occasion in our collective effort to win the deserved war against COVID-19.
From all indications, quality, safety, efficacy, the benefits outweigh the side effects. So, from all indications, the generally safe.
I have to congratulate Mr. President and particularly the PTF headed by the Secretary of Government.
Thanks for rejoining us, and this is Panorama. Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 100 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. In the latest figures released by the center, Taraba has 64 new infections, Lagos 21, the FCT 4, and Rivers 3 new cases. Others are Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, and Oyo states that recorded 2 new infections each, while Nasarawa and Bauchi complete the day's tally with 1 new infection each. Nigeria now has 164,588 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which 154,578 were treated and discharged, while 2,061 persons died of the virus. Women and youths in Borno State have received empowerment items to support themselves and their families, courtesy Future Assured program of the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, in collaboration with National Center for Women Development. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
Women and youth from across the 27 local government areas of Borno State have benefited from the usual gesture of Future Assured program under the Aisha Buhari Foundation. Future Assured this time has collaborated with National Center for Women Development for the distribution of empowerment kits to support women and youth of Borno State with the hope of extending similar exercise to other parts of the country. The items distributed include sewing machines, complete kits of hairdressing and barbing tools powered generating sets and deep freezers, as well as chemicals for soap making and plastic chairs. The First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, in a message through the wife of the Governor of Borno State, Palmata Umar Zulum, reaffirmed her commitment to continue to support women, youth and children at all times.
Today's event is one of such which aims to pave way for women and youths to have access to economically viable ventures that will create sustainable income generation and help create more jobs for others as indirect beneficiaries in Borno State.
The Director General, National Center for Women Development, Asabe Vleta Bashir, assured the First Lady of her readiness to continue to partner with the Future Assured program at ensuring that Nigerian women are empowered economically.
I want to implore on our women or the beneficiaries of these items to make judicious use of it, because they are meant for them to sustain their livelihood.
This is not the first time. From 2017, when others were running away from Borno, she came with trucks and truckloads of palliatives. This is typical of her, and the Borno women are very, very grateful.
The beneficiaries could not hide their happiness, describing the exercise as transparent and life-saving. More women are expected to benefit from similar exercise in due course. In Maiduguri, Borno State capital, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, has appealed to the Nigerian Union of Pensioners to shelve its proposed protest over delay in the implementation of the consequential adjustment to the pension benefits occasioned by the 2019 minimum wage, as the implementation is most likely to commence at the end of April 2021, going by the submissions that had been made by all stakeholders. PTAD noted that COVID-19 played a prominent role in the delay. Similarly, the Federal Parastatals and Private Sector Pensioners Association of Nigeria, FEPPAN, has directed its members across the country to refrain from participating in any form of protest for any reason that has to do with implementation of minimum pension. The union stated that its National Administrative Council, NAC, had earlier engaged government on the matter and was given a satisfactory response that federal government was at the final stages of approving issuance of circular and implementation of the negotiated adjustments for pensioners. And that concludes Panorama this Friday afternoon. But just before we go, do remember to be a star by joining NTA to stand and rapists.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Sheer adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you. Service in Holy Arosa is evening. We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. Makoko is a Nyaba local council development area in Lagos Island. Lagos State is never short of beautiful places and unique environments. Even at that, Makoko is outstanding. Makoko is a waterfront community. This, however, didn't much say it. As much as we live a normal life on land, build houses, schools, streets, and relate in commerce and social events, so do the Makoko people, the Iwara waterfront community, do the same on water. No impediments, no complaints. It is a life normal and secure. On the day, we had to somehow kit ourselves against the weather and protect our equipment. It was our day one in Makoko. Well, it is a rainy day in Lagos, but our business is beyond the rainfall. We have a beautiful story to tell. Now, when you come to Lagos, or before you come to Lagos, you may have so many images, beautiful images of what Lagos is, a business hub, a large sprawling city with large population. But as a reporter, when I come to Lagos, I find that there is a little paradox, a paradox of beauty and then environmental challenges somewhere. So I am in Lagos, and I'm in one area, a location they call Makoko. It is an arrival and departure point. Life is busy here. As much as we watch airplane takes off and touch down at regular intervals in a busy airport, so do canoes do so at this area. Many of the passengers in this place bear items of trade. Many are on a stretch of life's routines. One of the most abiding pictures in this waterfront is the sight of children handling canoes, like my last born handling toys. They are school-age children with the advantage of age and brilliance, reduced to commercial canoeing at the waterfront of Makoko. Their art is amazing very much though, especially as I have no skills outside the hard ground. I crave to talk to many of these preteen and teenage canoers of Makoko, but many are steeped in shyness. We commenced our canoe movement to the interior of Makoko, and the transit is a world apart. Something about the water first. It emanates from Osha River, and it takes its seaward journey to the Atlantic through Makoko. At the Makoko side, the water is everything but neat. It stinks. Here is its entry point to Makoko, and throughout the community. The picture is like this. Based on my travels, many people may conclude that we have obsession with water. Far from it. Inside water, I have no wisdom. I'm given to the skills of the canoer. In this particular moment, we were a crew of 6. 3 refused to join us in water. 1 had to reluctantly go with us after several appeals, even though he was nabbled throughout, and at every turn he screams. We made it eventually, but it took us the quickest time to finish a recording. Our starting point is incidentally the entry and exit point 2 from Makoko. The movement to the interior allows Makoko to fall into place. It is a lengthy canoe trip, passing under bridges and through households. In this rainy day, the traffic is heavy. Canoemen and their passengers rushing to escape the rains. The perspective is simple. Makoko is balanced on water top. Every house here is on water. The technology is ingenious. Planks raise the houses above water. They do not rust. They do not give in. By way of reinforcement, it follows likewise that the streets here are water, and every life activity in this place is on water. Makoko is a picture of community on water. The story of Makoko cannot be told educatively without an informed guide. With the ballet of the community, this demand is served. Ballet Francis Agoyon is instantly a friend and knowledgeable, a seminal chieftain who never allows a question to finish before he starts on. We were warmly received in his house and obliged to go with us around many interesting areas in Makoko. His house stands out, and on the edge of it are burnt pots made of clay. I wonder whether the people of Makoko make a life of poetry.
We fish, we fight. We fish, we fight.
Appropriately, our interaction with the ballet was on a canoe tour. One of the critical things about this place is that although they live on top of water, there is no water for them to drink. Ballet felt it was a nice issue.
Chief, I'm told that you live on top of water, yes, but you don't have a water to drink.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes.
You have asked many questions, but you didn't touch water side. And you know, water is a source of life.
Exactly.
But, you know,
how do you drink your water? How do you bath?
There are some people among us that, you know, try to call those borehole diggers. They have their boreholes, which we drink, but the water supplied by the local government, some of them are on the land, are on the farmland.
Okay.
Are on the farmland. The better side, and the better side, just 2.
Okay.
But those people, part of us, they are using it. But on water here is those people who have borehole.
So you build a borehole on this place?
Yes, nah.
Well, the interesting story Ballet is telling me that.
I can show you some borehole now.
Obviously, what he's telling me is that people inside this water you can build a borehole.
Borehole and very sweet water, very potable, drinkable water.
Is it not affected by the depth of this water?
Oh, no, at all, not at all. We can try it now. We go there. I say, just bring water. I put it, you will see.
We will see a place where.
And the wise people have come to see and say, well, this water, they have some very, very.
So we will see a borehole now.
Oh, you will see a borehole.
And the water.
And the water.
And it is enough for the communities?
Very, very, very enough, but we buy it.
Okay, you buy.
We buy.
But you mean every community here has a borehole water?
Borehole water, yes.
Where it is?
I will show you now.
Okay, exactly.
Curiosity drove us to the boreholes. Along the way, our boat almost capsized. As expected, a member of my crew was on edge.
Don't shake at all.
Eventually, we maneuvered to one of the community boreholes.
Okay. Now, I have to come to this place, despite the danger that is involved in coming to this place, because this community don't have water, despite that they are on water. So, but the miracle of this place, if I might say it's a miracle, is that they can dig a borehole in this water, and the borehole they say do have a tasty water to drink. There are over 4 boreholes here, which supplies water to the communities. This is one of it, obviously.
This is one of it.
But you say the water is good.
Very good. You want to test it?
No, but it's not possible.
Very good water.
Very good. So that is just it. So now this problem is about solved, because this community, there is no place where you can see a tap, and the water is so dirty. I'm afraid for their lives. Although the Bible said that there is no fear, but
there's no fear.
There is no fear.
There's no fear.
But then they do have a borehole, and
this people, women, children, on water waiting for those people who want to fish it, to come and sell fish for them. You see them now?
Okay, no, they are healthy. So this is the borehole.
We also ran into an actuality of a large vessel loading water from one of the boreholes to the high seas. Bali was animated.
Now, this is a situation where people are coming from long distances to fetch water from the boreholes at the Makoko.
Yes,
so Oga, where are you taking this thing to?
Vessel in the sea.
Oh, you are taking it to the sea?
Yes.
For drinking?
For drinking.
Okay, even for people or for other things like that?
I told you.
Okay, you say you are taking it to the high sea?
Yes, to the high sea.
Okay, what are you doing with it, sir? What are you doing with it?
Drinking. I told you.
Okay.
Having resolved the drinking water issue with the people of this floating city, we continued our township tour of the place with the Bali.
A floating city, Bali.
Yes.
Obviously, how do you manage life like this? I've never seen a place like this.
Happy to be on water. Very happy to be on water. Yes.
How many communities do you have in this place?
We have 11 communities. Makoko has Bali 5, Okwabon 3, Sogoro 3. That is 11. 5 in Makoko, 3 in Okwabon, and 3 in Sogoro. That's the 11 communities combined. And that is the name Makoko Iwaya Waterfront Communities.
Okay.
Under Yaba Local Council Development Area.
Okay. Look, but everything about this place is water. But the water is dirty.
It's not dirty. You think it's dirty, but it's not dirty. And if at all it is dirty, it is caused by those on land. Because you might have,
Okay, go ahead.
See the carnival. All those big carnival. They pour things in it. When it rains, everything
is coming to the water.
I'm telling you the reality.
Doesn't it affect your health?
It is not at all. It is not at all. Because we don't bath with this water. Okay. We only paddle canoe on it. We are floating movement. We are floating movement, but we don't drink it. But we go and fish. We kill fish inside it.
Okay, you kill fish inside.
Yes.
You fish in this. You fish in this water.
No, we can't fish here anymore because we have daily houses here. This is a community. When we want to fish, we go to communal water. There.
Okay, there is a communal water.
Beside the third mainland bridge, after the third mainland bridge, up, and then we go to sea.
The people of Mokoko are fishermen, all right. There are many images of not actual fishing per se, but of women waiting patiently for the fishermen to come back from the high seas so as to buy from them. These are some of the images of these waiting women. We had a mind to actually capture a day in the life of one or two of the households, but the downpour of the day played a part in aborting that. However, households like this thrive in fish smoking. They are fish captured in the high sea and bought by the woman. All along the city are vendors peddling their items of trade across various parts of the town. Sellers of preferred food are particularly mobile. I'm in particular captured by this Akara seller. She had her cooking oil, fare, frying sauce all in a canoe as she paddles across Makoko to connect with her buyers. I am one buyer who is also a fan. One of the you may not understand the depths of the the life in this place unless you have seen a woman like this woman. This is a business woman. She's doing her, is it akara or pancake, right? In her boat. Right in the boat, you can see there is her fare, there is her oil. This is where she does everything. And she's moving around selling and she's doing business. In fact, I'm going to buy some now. Madam, give me 10 naira. How much is each one? 10 naira, give me for 100 naira.
No, the hot one.
So, okay, I will pay. So, madam, tell me, is it the way you do your... Ask her, is it the way she has been doing her business all along? And where is it?
Yes.
Talk now, speak in Yoruba, let me hear you. So, and you move around, where does she go to do?
She go around there. She don't go to anywhere, just few finish.
So, you see?
Yes, and I'm flying on the boat. There's fire there.
What is this?
This is a peeled corn. And what I mean?
Can I see it? Can I see it?
Very beautiful.
Yeah. Let me see. It is easy to conclude that in context of their environment, the people of Mokoko don't keep livestock. The truth, however, is they do. They keep sheep, goats, and pigs. Dogs are a common sight as well. They are kept in places above the elevation, which means you have to look under. But looking under the houses is trying in somebody's patience. It is a picture of filth. It is amazing to know that by the confession of the people of Makoko, despite the nature of their environment, they never have cases of epidemic.
It cannot affect our health because God knows we are waterbound.
But what is your secret? What is your secret that you cannot have diseases?
Which is secret? Which secret? Let me tell you one thing. White men, they have their own climate. Their own climate is different from ours. But though, they stay with us here. When you come, you stay for some time. That one, you come to, to this thing. We are black.
How many people how many households, how many people, estimated number of people around the city?
Thank you very much. We have about 234 houses in 2012. In 2012, 234,000 houses from Makoko, Iwaya, Waterfront community. The way we live is a very, very...
But is it the way it is both during the dry season and the rainy season?
No, rainy season is different from dry season.
Okay, there will be no water along this place.
If it is dry season, the tide come accordingly from time to time. But it's rainy season now. If it is raining, water can come up. When rain stops, if I want to, okay, where it comes from now, you can see the tide. Imagine, I am lying. You see the power.
So you are not affected. Your houses.
Nothing. Okay. Since you came, I thank God that you came when it is ready. Did you hear anybody crying?
Okay, and there is no. Well, maybe sometimes when the wave tides, maybe they can rise to come into go into people's houses.
No, not at all. Even on land, we had incident 2011 that rain, something happened. No, it doesn't happen to us. It doesn't. It doesn't. God knows how He created
human being.
Yes, now. Yes, now.
We visited a floating community health center, and the in-charge corroborated the attestation of the valley.
But the problem we commonly counter with is the
malaria and typhoid.
Okay.
Malaria and typhoid is a major sickness that we normally have in here. If you see I do my doctors and all those things, when I was doing my masters in this normally we do.
Okay.
We normally have. We thank God that he has know that it's reducing now.
Okay.
It's reducing now. Before 2014, what we have is greatest one. We have much malaria. But the help of those NGOs and those people that normally come to us to assist us, they give us mosquito nets, they give us malaria. You can see what I have.
No, it's okay, obviously. Yes. So now it is reduced.
It's reduced.
What do you think? What do you think has been the main issue? Is it has to do with the environment and other things like that?
The environment, if you can see that the environment contributed a lot of something.
Yeah.
There are no traffic at this clinic. There is at this moment, though, a rush to save a baby with 3+ malaria. Moving along, we saw multiple floating schools. The pupils of this community primary school are on break. They are quick to retreat back to classes when they saw us focus camera on them. We move on. We also anchored at another floating school, albeit evacuated. Okay, what's happening? So this is the floating school?
Floating school.
Okay. This is a floating school in Makoko. The school, like the houses in these places, they are built on top of water. Under them are pillars which has elevated it. But then it's a floating school. And actually when it rains or when there is a heavy breeze, the school moves on its structures. So maybe that is why most of the students that are in this place have been taken or relocated to a school inside. This is the place where they can do most of the physical exercises and other school extracurricular activities. This little place is enough for them. If they want to play football, if they want to dance, if they want to sing, anything they wanted to do, this is the place for them.
Because we are on water, if we can get our schools enough here, our children will school here and they will be safer.
Okay.
Because at times, if our children want to go to school or want to come back, Okada, moto, they don't know how to cross.
There will be accident. Okay, because they are water people, so they are not used to the laws on the land. Okay.
We were lucky to also run into this kindergarten. The fascinating thing here is not actually the age category of the pupils, but the lesson they are taught. All the teachers understand no English, but French, and it is actually French that is being taught here. Interesting, if you will ask me.
Well, this is a French class going on in this school in Makoko. You will find that Makoko has not so much space with which it can accommodate large classes, but it has this small one, which is very beautiful. This is like a kindergarten. Here is their teacher. Obviously, sir, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You are teaching this children French?
Yeah.
Okay, it's part of the curriculum. Tell me about it. Okay.
Now French, I understand very well.
Okay, it's French you understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going through all these places and taking note of the environmental nature of this place, I asked Bali whether they are happy living here. His answer is on the affirmative.
So, the way we live is a very, very...
But is it the way it is both during the dry season and the rainy season?
No, rainy season is different from dry season.
Okay, there will be no water along this place.
If it is dry season, the tide come accordingly from time to time. But as it's rainy season now, if it is raining, water can come up. When rain stop, if I want to, okay, where you come from now, you can see the tide. Imagine, I am lying. You see the power.
So you are not affected, your houses
Nothing. Okay, since you came, I thank God that you came when it is ready. Did you hear anybody crying?
Eventually we come to a place where the perspectives are good, where you can look at Lagos mainland bridge as it is move around beautifully. And you can see the waterfront here, where various activities are going on. People who are trying to fix outboard engines, and people who are waiting for people coming from the high sea so that they could buy fish. And a lot of activities really taking on place here.
Along the waterfront are various occupational groups, mechanics of outboard engines, makers of canoe, fish sellers and fishermen making the run to sea and out of it. It is a busy life out here. One bit of information. The people of Mokoko are not strictly speaking Yoruba. They are Egun, a language distinct from Yoruba, but they do understand Yoruba.
I speak Yoruba.
But is your language Yoruba?
My language is Egun, but we can speak both. Okay. That is why you can hear they call Aweris, Agbo, Edimafo. They are all also Egun.
As we make out to go back to the safety of land communities, the Bali, colorful as ever, performed one last act of hospitality. He sent us up with a bottle of Oguguru and a prayer for safety. Going back, we saw superstores high up on water. We saw households measure up with life challenges. In our homeward movement, I wondered how these people answered the call of nature and what their waste disposal system is. The question was in my mind, but I declined to add the Bali. We retreated our steps passing through bridges and the canoe parks eventually. Still wondering in my mind, is Mokoko real?